Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom, happy Friday.
Happy Friday it is. How are you today, Bob?
I'm good. I have a crazy question for you.
Uh-oh. Okay, go ahead.
I was looking at your Facebook profile and I saw the name of your company. Do you remember when we were talking about naming your company? Because I feel like we're right around an anniversary.
Of my company?
Your company. Because I thought we had a coffee at Panera out in Hunt Valley. We sat outside. It was a gorgeous day, and I remember it was like cold weather because I had a coat with me. And we were in shirt sleeves for the first time. And I've got to feel like it was either right around this time of year or it was mid-fall.
It was probably a little bit later. Because I think I started it. Well, I started with a different name.
Mm-hmm.
We might have been talking about
what was that name?
The Advancement Advocate.
That's right. That's right.
That was it. And it was had to be a little bit later. Because I probably didn't start that until April or May. Because then I switched, I think, in July.
Okay.
After another conversation, I think that we had. So
okay. We should do a program or a series of programs on naming.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting topic because that is often one of those things that bamboozles people, and I think it's also a way that we can deter ourselves from actually taking the bold step to do what we want to do. Well, I got to have the perfect name.
Of course. Although I think people end up with a name, and it's funny. Interesting that some of the names people come up with, you have no idea what that means. You know, you're like, well, what is it? Who are you? Why are you called that? And I think that becomes an interesting discussion of why people choose to go the way that they do. You know, there's some nonprofits out there that have names. You're like, I have no idea what. It's a nice name,
right?
And
the Jerry Fund.
Yeah, it has nothing to do or anything to do with what you're trying to accomplish, which, you know, I guess comes down to it. Are you looking something for? Oh, Lord. We're not going back to that conversation. We're not. So just for all of you who know, I'll let you in. Somewhere, in the last year, we were talking about business namings. Maybe this is why Bob brought it up because he is having memories of it.
No.
And Bob has two companies.
I do.
And he's changed. Oh, hey, there's even maybe another one.
No, Front Page Rankings was Tim's.
Okay.
There was a point where Tim and I worked together. I was Bigger Pie Strategies, who's Front Page Rankings. And we would often partner. One of us would be the lead and the other would be the one following. So we
had this conversation and it put Bob in a tailspin between the difference of should I be Bigger Pie Strategies or Breakthrough Solutions. So that was a whole... I kicked it down the highway, and now here I am at tax time, having to do two separate tax documents, Correct.
Much to my frustration.
And that could be considered part of our conversation this week about the Renegade Way and why we choose to do what we do and how we move forward with it, and that we find ourselves sometimes at a crossroad and we make different decisions. So we've been talking about that all week. And our topic for today is our weekly wrap-up. It's Friday, so we'll do our weekly wrap-up for the week. But before we get to that, Bob, do you want to tell them a little bit about our upcoming workshop?
I would love to, but first I want to get Jean's comment in because I agree with it. Her name of her company is Born to Travel. Her last name is Born. And I even, in my book, I wasn't going to mention my book all week, and I did it. Even in my book, I said it was a great name. I think it's one of the best names ever. I love the play on her name and travel. It's awesome. So with that, Tom, let me move into the workshop.
You mean this book, Bob? The Renegade Way? That is available.
I mean this book.
Lord help us. On to the workshop.
Yes, on March 22nd, hey, you have a chance, a unique opportunity to work with us at no charge to figure out how to eliminate one or more of the obstacles that are standing in your way. So this is a chance to have us really walk you through a process that you can repeat by yourself down the road or with other people and really address one of those things standing in your way. It could be naming your company, figuring out the right name between two names of your company. It could be, it's funny, you can't see this because Tom has the screen up, but he's shaking his head as I say these things, which is really funny.
Yes, I am.
But all kidding aside, we're doing 2 workshops. One's at 10 a.m. on March 22nd, Eastern Time. The other one's at 7 p.m. Tom and I don't do workshops to preach. We don't do workshops to do a huge sales pitch. Our goal in these workshops is to help people figure out ways to move forward. This is a workshop that, frankly, Tom and I wish we had available to us countless times over the years. I think this is one of those workshops where you could do it every 2 months because you know and I know, Tom, it's not very long until you find the next obstacle after you solve the last one. And so we're going to give you a process that you can apply to a situation right then and there and also to other situations. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Our workshops give you a chance to meet other business people, to hear what they're going through. I think one of the things I like about it is I leave each of those workshops we do not feeling alone as a business owner, but going, wow, everyone's struggling with the same things I'm struggling with. How amazing is that? So if that sounds like it appeals to you, look in the comments in about 30 seconds. I will be typing while Tom starts talking.
Right. So we hope that you'll join us then. Again, it is March 23rd.
22nd.
Sorry, March 22nd. And there are 2. They're the same. They'll be the same workshop, although with different people, there'll be different outcomes. And I think that's, one of the differences. You go to a lot of workshops and people will talk at you. And I think what Bob and I have chosen, and this is a little bit about the Renegade Way, is that we want to put ideas, ask you questions to help you figure out your own answers because you're your own unique person. And you are the only one who can truly come up with the answers that are going to work for you. People can guide you. People can offer suggestions. People can share their experience, their knowledge, and their perspective. And you have to then determine what does that mean for you. And I think that's really what this whole Renegade Way is all about, is that no one can really carve your path for you because we're all unique. And I think this week we were talking about that. Like, what is the Renegade Way? How do we use it? And also, what's the alternative, which we discussed yesterday? And I think for each of us, we have the opportunity every time there's an obstacle to figure out how we're going to choose to move forward. And I was thinking about this because what popped up in my memory today was the first video that I did by myself when all of the news started breaking about things shutting down. And so we're going to get now into that time frame where your feeds are going to be with all of the memories from last year of this got canceled, that got closed, this got changed. And it has the opportunity to really be, yes, it's a remembrance. And it also can put people into a tailspin of like, oh my God, we've been at this for a year. Oh, that's right. I can't believe we didn't have graduation. Didn't get to go to my prom. My conference that I was running got canceled. The workshop that I was planning didn't happen. And that could easily put a lot of people into a tailspin, even though others are just trying to remember maybe someone lost or something else that is a memory. We have the opportunity to choose. How are we going to move forward in this next year? This is an obstacle, right? We're coming up on the anniversary of this. This is an obstacle, and each of us have the opportunity to choose, what are we going to do? Do we hope that it just goes back to the way it was? Are we just happy that things are continuing the way they are? Or are we going to choose to go our own unique pathway, to make our own decision, to do something unique and different as a way to use that as knowledge, experience, and perspective, and choose how we're going to move forward.
And I think, Tom, for a lot of us, the Renegade Way is finding the opportunities. It's accepting the setbacks that come, and they come for all of us. You and I have had setbacks. Setback comes, and then it's figuring out another way around to accomplish what you want to. You know, a year ago, I had 7 speaking engagements booked for this calendar year. They all disappeared. I've moved to doing Zoom conferences and speaking, and it works. And I've gotten proficient at that, and there's opportunity there. And I think one of the things that the Renegade Way is, it's about finding the opportunity where other people are going to sit and go, oh, I just wish everything would go back to the way it was. I want it to be it was so easy back then, and I didn't have to work real hard, and the customers found me. I think the renegades are the ones who say, hey, wow, this is going to be a little challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. I figured the last 6 things out. Let me figure out this next thing. And I think that's the difference. The renegades find a way. It's not always a straight line from, I made 0 money right now, and a month from now I want to make $20,000. It's not a straight line. It doesn't always happen that you make $20,000 that first month, but you might move and make $1,000 or $30, and you know you're moving towards your goal, whatever that goal is. And I think it's hard to put words around this. It's funny, we've been talking about the Renegade Way all week, and you showed the book and I showed the book. It was hard to put the words to it into a book. It's even harder to talk about it because it's so antithetical to the way we were. Sorry, big word, didn't mean to. So opposite the way we were raised. Because most of us, entrepreneurship, certainly I think our generation, entrepreneurship wasn't one of those things that people aspired to do. And now you have programs in colleges. You can get a minor in entrepreneurship. You can major in entrepreneurship. You can, there's all these tools available to us. And I think that shows that the opportunity exists. And as we move into wherever we go, I was thinking about this last night, things are going to be different. Who knows? Maybe conferences come back in 3 months. Maybe it's 3 years. Maybe it's never. That's something I follow very closely. I think for everyone in business, there's something that's going to change going forward. And if it's not the pandemic, it'll be something else. There's very little static time. I've yet to find a day in my business career where things were just stopped and it was all like, all right, I got everything covered. It's all perfect. I can just relax. Okay, what am I going to do today? Everything's humming along. It's more like, whoa, I'm defending myself against gnats. As soon as you hit one, 6 more show up.
Yeah, I think that to me, as I think about what the Renegade Way is, that's what it is that we know that it's not an easy path, that there are going to be ups and downs and highs and lows and and if you stop evaluating whether it's a high or a low or what, it just is what's real. I think you have the opportunity to continue to just move forward and find out, how do I learn from it? And I think that, to me, that's one of the things that I think has really changed over the years, that I'm much more accepting of. I honestly don't care whether it's good or bad. I mean, I do. That's not 100% true. I want it to be effective. I want people to find value from it. That's what, and if there's value missing, I'll go back and say, uh-oh. I don't know if I lost Bob or Bob lost me. So I'm just going to keep talking until maybe he shows up, or that was weird. You just disappeared.
I don't know what I did. Sorry to cut you off in the middle of a sentence.
I couldn't figure out if that was me or if it was you. And so I was like, well, I'll just keep talking and we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll come back, or maybe I'll come back.
See, we've learned. If you go way back, first time that happened, that really threw us. Now it's just like, all right, here we're going.
And I think that just allows you to keep, you expect the unexpected. You know that that's going to happen. And if you let the unexpected just completely throw you, yeah, it's going to have a huge impact. And you're going to get overwhelmed and frustrated and just stuck. if you start to try to think about, okay, wow, that was weird. That just happened. Now what? And all right, what did I learn from it? What went well, you came back. What didn't happen as planned? You just disappeared.
Some might argue that wasn't well, but okay.
There's a limiting belief coming out. Let's think about that. And I think it's interesting. It's allowed me to move forward in just a very different way, not only professionally, but personally. And granted, I know that when something tragic happens, I'm sure it will be unbelievably impactful, but I'm hopeful that having gone through some of these conversations, I can start to unpack that so that is it probably going to change me forever? 100% absolutely, because my knowledge, experience, and perspective will change. And what's going to be real for me will be different. And I think if I keep looking at it that way, it makes it a little bit easier to move forward. Of what did I gain? What happened? And if we think about every day, every minute of every day, we're just gaining new knowledge, experience, and perspective. And not try to judge it. Is it good? Is it bad? Right or wrong? Perfect, imperfect? We can spend a lot of time focusing on that judgment of the results. The results are important because that's how we learn and then how we move forward. And I think as I take away from this week, and in reality, this last year, the Renegade Way for me has been not to figure out what have I learned and how will that change what's real for me and how I will do things differently. And I think that's my one thing from this week is, and again, as I said, while it's been a conversation this week, it's really been a year of a life. And trying to talk about it and better understand it and get more clarity on it so that I can continue to move forward.
Tom, I want to go back to something you said. You talked about how it's hard work at times. And I was leading a workshop last night with some folks in North Carolina. And one of the entrepreneurs, a guy who's been running a business now, started it. He's been running the business now for, I think, 25 years, said that it didn't feel like work as long as he was following his passion. He said, yes, there have been hard days, but he said, I had jobs where I worked. And I've had days that I disliked my work. He said, I've never had a moment where I haven't enjoyed the opportunity and the privilege to do what I really care about. And I really thought about that last night. It was like, that to me is the Renegade Way. You're doing this thing that you really want to do, you're called to do, you believe is your mission, and you commit to it fully. All the distractions, all the obstacles, all the things that people can say, or all the weird looks you get, all the setbacks, you say, no, this is me, this is who I am. You and I started this program, and all through there have been people, that's a crazy idea, why are you doing this? It's not doing this, it's not doing this. Yeah. And we continue through because we keep talking to each other and going, I believe in this. I believe that we're helping someone. Even if some days, if that person that we help is you or me.
Sure.
Nailed it. And I think
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say that, we would be not probably 100% telling the truth if both of us didn't at some point question, why are we doing this?
Absolutely.
Doesn't make sense.
But that's the beauty of having a partner in these things.
Correct.
When I'm weak, you're strong. When you're weak, I'm strong.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit. The hard part, as we have also talked about, is going that pathway alone, where you're usually stuck in your head and you just can't get through your own, it's funny, our knowledge, experience, and perspective can really benefit us and it can hold us back. Because there might be something in there that says, well, why are you doing this? Why is this going right? And you can't get out of that question. That part of your knowledge, experience, perspective is so strong that it holds you back from being able to truly ask the question or see the insight that might help you overcome this obstacle or whatever is in front of you, or get over the high. That sometimes we can be too excited about what's going on and just think that the world is perfect. And usually that's when we take our hardest falls, as we realize that, maybe I didn't have it all in place. What's your one thing from this week, Bob?
I think my one thing from this week, Tom, is that everyone's journey is unique and that it's difficult to compare anyone else's journey to ours. And I kept coming back to, we didn't talk about that specifically, but it kept coming up in my head that what you're doing with your company is a little different than what I'm doing with my company. There are some great similarities, but there are also some places where we go off in different directions. Working together, we're focused on one thing. And I think for each person, it truly is your unique pathway. And recognizing that and recognizing that that means just because it's unique means no one's ever done it before your way with your knowledge, your experience, your perspective. And if you can accept that, that would suggest that no one can tell you exactly what to do. No one can you can't order online the perfect sales funnel for your situation. And I can tell you, I've tried. You can't order the perfect email campaign brochure. You can't, everything's got to be tweaked because you come at it differently. And if everyone did the same thing, how many life coaches are there out there? Personal trainers. If they all did it the same way, how vanilla would life be? But there's a life trainer that focuses on mindset around fitness. There's another one that focuses on high intensity interval training. There are various different ways to go about the same thing, and finding the people that want your flavor of the ice cream, I think, is really important. That's the Renegade Way, is being true to whatever that flavor is, and then saying to the world, hey, I got this flavor here. This is why this flavor might work for you. And I really do believe in my heart of hearts that there are enough people out there that want the flavor of ice cream I'm selling that I will find them.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think here's the thing. Are there 100 trainers who teach the exact same flavor? Absolutely. The difference is they all have a different story. Their knowledge, experience, and perspective is unique. And so even though you're going at something, you have the exact same techniques, the exact same workouts, the exact same stretching, what you bring to it as an individual is what makes a difference and is what is going to resonate with someone else because of who you are, not just what you do. And I think that's the thing, is that the value so often we provide is who we are as a person, what is real for us. Sometimes techniques, and again, the person has to be willing and open to accept that the way they've been thinking they might need some adjustments. And if we're able to be the person who we are going to add value to them. And they get to choose how much that is going to impact who and what they are and what is real for them.
Let me add a couple more comments, Tom. Tim said, I always find the workshops to be worthwhile. The interaction makes a huge difference in connection and further understanding. That's really kind of you. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that tremendously. He also says, results, though, are ongoing, not a static thing. If we're open to continually educating ourselves, then we will get results. And I love how he puts results in quotes every day, because the result some days may be, hey, don't do that again. That didn't work the way I expected. That's still a result. It's not the result that you go, wow, this was a great week. I'm awesome. But it's still information that helps us as we go down that path, whatever our unique pathway is, as a renegade on our way.
Yep, I think that's the interesting thing about it all, is that every minute of every day, we take actions. Every minute of every day, we get a result. I'm saying something. Everyone who ever listens to this will now have some reaction to it. So there'll be some result. Some I'll see, some I'll never know. And that's okay. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned that I'm sharing what I think is of value. And I believe in my heart of hearts that someone out there at some point, at some time, is going to find value in it. And that is going to impact what is real for them. And I think if we all consider about keep doing that, more and more people will be impacted, which I believe will have positive results. Not even positive, we'll just have results. Leave it there.
Awesome. Why don't we leave it there, Tom? It's been a great week. Why don't we roll out of here? Can we talk? Can you show them the promo on the Renegade Success Network? Because if you're coming up against these obstacles, if you can't figure out the question to ask yourself to move forward, if you've asked 10 people and they tell you 10 different things, or they all tell you the same thing and you know it doesn't feel right, we have a group that we put together, a membership group that's getting real results for people. And a big part of that is the 15-minute laser solution sessions. And I was talking to someone about this yesterday, Tom, and they were saying, there's no way you can help me in 15 minutes. So we did the little exercise and I timed it, showed them my watch, timed it. 4.5 minutes in, he said, oh, I never thought about it that way. And I said, I'm sorry, what was that? He said, I never thought about it that way. I said, it's 4.5 minutes. And he said, whoa, how'd you do? Just trying to help you. And he was like, oh, I really think those things, wow. I thought you had to spend hours.
And here's the funny thing about it. Your part in that, as brilliant as you are, was small.
Oh, absolutely.
He's the one that found it.
Yep.
Right? He's the one who had the aha moment. You just probably asked him a few questions and he was like, oh, huh.
I spent the next 6 minutes explaining exactly that because he's like, how'd you do that? I said, I just asked you questions. You solved your own riddle. I just had you think about it differently. So if that's something that you're interested in, something that you think would help your business, please talk to Tom or me or go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. You can see a whole bunch of information. You can join there or we can talk about it and figure out how it might work for you. And Tom and I would love to have the discussion with you if you describe to us your situation. And I know Tom probably better than anyone here, and I will tell you, Tom is not going to sell you. He's going to ask you questions. And if it works for you, he's going to say, awesome. If it doesn't, he's going to say, hey, please stay in the group, and I hope to hear how great you're doing. And if there's something we can help you with, please let us know. I'm the same way. So this is not like a veiled pitch. That's not what we do. I can tell you, Tom and I don't do veiled pitches. If I do a pitch, it's over. No, I'm kidding. Well, maybe
very
I'm not
direct.
kidding.
You're doing it.
Very direct. I'll tell you if I'm doing a sales
pitch. That might
pitch.
have just been a pitch that you just did. So if that's something, I'll share a little video that will provide more details about the Renegade Success Network. And if you've enjoyed this conversation or any of our conversations, and you're not yet a member of the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, please join us. All you have to do is go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. It is a private group. It's a growing community where we want to provide space for people to be comfortable sharing what their challenges are, what their successes are, and not feel like they are going to be judged. That there's just a group of people who are there who to be supportive when they need it, to ask the right question, and to help them move forward along their own unique pathway to success. So we hope to see you there. You just have to ask to join, tell us why you're a renegade, and you can become a part of our discussion. So I hope that we'll see you inside of there today or this weekend. And if not, we will see you Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone. We will see you soon. Are you struggling to make your vision a reality? Are you stuck and don't know what to do next? Are fear and doubt holding you back? The Renegade Success Network will help you determine the next steps on your pathway. Here is some of what you will get. Create your pathway call to start you on a better path. Unlimited laser solution sessions to keep you from getting stuck. Nurture your network events to build your network with other successful leaders. Monthly Renegade challenges to prepare you for what lies ahead. The Renegade Success Vault giving you access to videos, tools, and tips on specific topics anytime you need them. And the Renegade Success Network community, an exclusive Facebook group of like-minded renegades, all working towards achieving their goals. You have a choice. Do it yourself and fumble forward slowly and alone. Or join the Renegade Success Network and be part of a community built to help you find your own pathway. Join today at renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Act now and jumpstart your journey on your own pathway to success.